haven't changed it yet.
Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Broncos Stadium at Mile High. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, a former Blue Hen out of Delaware. It's Joe Flacco. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. A run with Lindsey out of the gun. And some room to maneuver. He's got daylight. The 40. Pass.
Oh, gosh.
Well, they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for. Because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they got both. Over-committing in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
You know, I had to get the live stream on, so.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And right away, he lost the football.
Sack, baby. Sack. On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and throwing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a big turnover.
They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 30, 20. They're all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
That's out to Hill, right side complete.
Offside, defense.
Yeah, that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Oh, that's quiet.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
It just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Broncos 14, Chiefs nothing.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to set up in this booth, right, and make all the calls.
And the Broncos get there and take him down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. That's returnable for Craycraft. Still on his feet. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28. And Denver getting set to take the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
On second down now, it's Lindsey. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Philip Lindsay on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos will extend their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was capped off by a Philip Lindsay touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air. There's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there. So would this be the definition? Mahomes hit. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss. Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. From the 41, Mahomes. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs doesn't be a big part of any passing offense nowadays. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now it's Mahomes again. They complete it to Hill. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation. Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Butker's kick here is good.
8 points. I'm so
And
proud of
high
him.
fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play, but sometimes it's okay to dream big because
they're focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could...
Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards. Take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the... And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
We play to win. Let's go.
Time now for Patrick Mahomes as we put him in our players spotlight. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it? Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And Hyde will not.
This guy has to be
Oh, wait. Okay, I guess.
next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense.
There he goes, right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Oh,
Philip
yeah,
Lindsay,
that's
56 yards. And the Broncos add on. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill. It's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. On play action, it's Mahomes. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
It's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. That's caught. It's DeMarcus Robinson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down. Mahomes now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Williams. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Craycraft on the return. Muscles him off.
Let's go.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. River Craycraft, 92 yards. And the Broncos continue to pour it on.
Let's just call that play what it was. Bold, dashing, daring, and a big-time return for a touchdown.
Fielding a punt inside the 10. Most coaches, they frown upon that, don't they?
They really do. I do know some special teams coaches who say, okay, I'll let you go to about the 8, and you're right in that gray area, and he made that play work in a massive way.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Mahomes going to throw. It's Hill, complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
Here we go.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Yellow. 47. I know he ain't got it.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a...
That's the end.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this.
Going to work.
That's called being in the